This volume was very long-winded. I enjoyed it, but there was a lot of dialogue, a lot of explanation, but I feel like we needed it. This was something that's been long coming in this series, learning about the different worlds that exist. For example, the physical realm it is overlapped by two other worlds. The world of idea or whatever, and also the astral world, which is the afterlife. And I was correct to say that the trolls came from another world, from a fantastical world, and it's basically the astral world. And apparently it happened during the eclipse, because they said that day. So my theories about the Age of Darkness, I feel, are going to be correct. That Griffith is the one that's bringing the Age of Darkness. He is the Hawk of Darkness. And this Age of Darkness is, in my opinion, is going to be the astral world and the physical world no longer overlapping but crumbling onto one another and merging into one. And I feel that's what the Age of Darkness is going to be. Because we already see these trolls are part of the physical world when they should not be a part of the physical world. They should have never been able to cross that line. But now they have. And we find out it happened during that day, which more than likely was the eclipse. We didn't get much explanation on the world of idea, but we did get a lot of explanation on the astral world, or aka the afterlife. We also got a little bit of information on the five angels, which are the godhand, obviously. That they are the people that execute the will of a higher power that more than likely lives farther in the astral world, into the abyss. Because there's different layers of the astral world, there's different layers of the physical realm, etc., etc. For example, the interstice, which we heard before, that Guts is the one that lives in the interstice, the world between the astral world and the physical realm. The interstice is a place where, say, you die and you regret the way you lived, or regret the way it happened, or you didn't finish something you were supposed to do. Those spirits, those ghosts, cannot move on. And this is something that exists in our world too. This is something people believe, that ghosts are basically people who died and they didn't get to finish something in their life, or they have a goal they want to complete before passing on to the next world, which would be the astral world. And that's what the interstice is in Berserk. So I did enjoy the explanations, but I found myself at times going like this. I was just like, what the fuck? There's a lot of dialogue. And you know I'm not one to mind dialogue, but I really wanted to see these trolls in action. But this whole like volume was a setup to the troll raid at the end, and basically next volume is going to be against the trolls, I guess. We see that there's different weapons that can be imbued by magic. Their fetishes, and Serpico, Isidro, the whole gang basically gets some. And I like Serpicos, and I like that we learn what Serpicos is powered by, which are sylphs, which are spirits of wind, which are ancestors to Puck and Ivalera, which is Shirk's fairy companion. Hopefully Shirk, I'm probably saying the name wrong, somebody corrected me before, but whatever, is going to become a constant member of Guts' group, I believe, because by the time they get back after slaying these trolls, I have a feeling that her master, Flora, is going to perish and pass away because her time is near. She's apparently 200 years old or something. She's very old. She might not be 200 years old, but she's old. But she looks the same as she did back when the old man that went looking for them found her. So I think she's going to end up joining Guts, because also she's going to see what her master wanted her to see, which was, what does this fated encounter bear for you? And Shirk doesn't believe it. She's like, there's no way this is fate. This man is not my fate. But I have a feeling she's going to realize, just like Farnese did, what Guts is all about, and she's going to be kind of captivated by him and wants to join him. And I feel like she'll be a welcome asset because she can use magic. Now, I heard some people didn't like what Shirk brought to the table, what her introduction into the story brought to the table, which is magic, the astral world, the other world, the world of idea. But the bottom line is, this always has existed, even before her introduction. We heard the word interstice before. We knew things about, there being other dimensions, because we heard about during the mock eclipse that the godhands only their shadow is going to be reflected onto the physical realm. Well, how is their shadow being reflected on the physical realm? That's because their world overlaps with ours. which is the astral world, but they live in a deeper layer of the astral world. So I feel like this wasn't something that was totally brought up out of the blue. I feel like it was set up to happen. I feel like it's been building up to this point for a long time. That's not to say that this doesn't make this a lot more complex, and I actually had to stop a few times while reading this to figure out what the hell was going on. But I think I have a pretty firm grasp on what was talked about in this volume. But now, like I said, I feel like my theory is correct, that the Age of Darkness is going to be the collapse between the physical world and the astral world. And it might mean the interstice will also either not exist or be part of this new world, this Age of Darkness world. And I really look forward to that actually happening. I hope that's what happens, because if that's what happens, we're going to see way more creatures and legends of fairy tale in this series. We already have trolls, but maybe we'll see dragons, or maybe we'll see unicorns, or maybe we'll see some other crazy shit. So I very much look forward to seeing if my theory is correct and it comes true. And if it does, I'll be happy. If it doesn't, I'm sure I'll still be happy, because Kentaro Miura will still deliver with his story. The conversation between Serpico and Guts. Serpico saying, like, he needs to stop this or whatever, and he tells Guts, if anything happens to Lady Farnese, I will come for you. And he gets that that look on his face, that like wild dog look on his face. This dude's sly, and Guts is like, I was waiting for that look. So we know Serpico is still planning to do something to Guts if the time comes, even though he says he wants to make their friendship stronger or whatever. And he throws it back to Baylet, so he does give him the Baylet, which was pretty interesting. So I like their conversation as well. I like the whole dynamic between Isidro and Guts now. I like that he's still training Isidro, but he's letting Isidro learn things on his own. Telling him to use his wits, use his head. Just like how Guts did when he was a child and was getting trained by his father figure. Can't remember the dude's name, but I have a feeling this is what Guts is going to become to Isidro. Father figure. That's what I would like to see. Or even just a bigger, again, older brother. Because we see that conversation between the old man and Isidro's like, I have no time for this. But we learn that Isidro ran away from home. Why did he run away from home? Why did he abandon his home? And it kind of felt like a touchy subject for Isidro, and he ran off after like belittling and berating the old man. And we see Guts was watching and listening, and Guts kind of had this look on his face. I think Guts can relate to Isidro. He can understand that this kid's on his own just as much as Guts was, but at least Guts had the mercenary group that he was with, even though they all looked at him like a curse because he was a child of death. Whereas Isidro don't have anybody, and I feel like Isidro's trying to find a place to belong, and at the same time he wants to become the ultimate swordsman and whatnot, but he puts on like a tough act. He's like, I'm using these people, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But I really do feel like he's deep down inside having a great time with these people, even though they're fighting for their lives. I mean, he interacts with Puck. They got that comedy dynamic. He seems to want to protect Casca and Farnese. Granted, he says he wants to protect them because he wants Guts to owe him, training lessons and whatnot. But I have a feeling Isidro really does like these people. And I hope Guts and Isidro's relationship becomes more than what it is. I hope he becomes either an older brother figure or even a father figure, and maybe Guts will start to care for these people as well. Because at this point, he only cares for Casca, obviously, but he seems, Puck grew on him, and I think these other people will start to grow on him as well. So, at the same time, that shows just how much Guts is changing as a person, too, if that does occur. We already see him, calling Puck by his first name. He realizes Puck has value, and Puck has been with him since after the eclipse. I think he does consider Puck a comrade, and I think he's starting to consider these other people comrades as well. I also like the conversation between Guts and the old woman about, this malice keeping Guts on his feet. You have to live with this hatred, but this hellfire at the same time is tempting you to destroy the things that are irreplaceable to you. So he has to be careful. And that it's like a shackle, and that's why his sword is so heavy and blunted. Like, it's so obvious what's going on with Guts that not only did this old woman point this out, but Godo sort of pointed it out as well when he was on his deathbed. It's so obvious that Guts is a tortured individual. His mind is slowly cracking. That's what that whole Beast of Darkness is. I believe, like one of my subscribers said, Casca is what's keeping him sane, and the Beast of Darkness is what is going to try to drive him insane. And the Beast of Darkness, I believe, is all his malice. It's this hellfire that Flora talked about in this volume. The thing that threatens to destroy that what's irreplaceable to him. And to point on to what I talked about a moment ago, I would hope that Serpico and Farnese and Isidro and Puck and even Shirk, I would hope these people become irreplaceable for Guts, because they'll be his comrades, and I hope he can overcome this Beast of Darkness and not try to hurt these individuals. We know Guts is able to, I don't want to say love, but he's able to accept people. We've seen him see it during the Golden Age arc. But this is a different time now. He's gone through a lot. He's seen his comrades die. Maybe he doesn't want to get attached to certain people because he doesn't want to feel that loss again if something happens. Maybe he's afraid that he won't be able to protect these people like he wasn't able to protect the Band of the Hawk. So you have to try to think what's going through Guts' mind as well. The dude is his mind is very shattered, and the Beast of Darkness obviously shows that. But that's just my thoughts. As far as what else went down in this volume, not much. I mean, the ending was the trolls came and Serpico whipped his feather duster sword. It did nothing because they told him, you need to envision these these elementals, envision what they can do, and he did, and we see him swing again and the wind goes flying out. So I very much look forward to seeing what these magical weapons can do, these fetishes can do, because Isidro has one made of fire, a dagger of fire, which was another funny note. He said it was dangerous in his hands. Serpico said this, but it'd probably be even more dangerous in Farnese's hand, because remember, Farnese was obsessed with fire and burning people at the stake before. Also, Puck made a Star Wars reference in this volume when he mimicked Yoda and said something about Isidro as if he was like a Padawan on the path to darkness. I thought that was pretty hilarious as well. So, thumbs up to you, Kentaro Miura, for using these awesome references to other series and also breaking the fourth wall. But let me know your thoughts on the volume. Let me know your thoughts on my theories, on my thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Please, no spoilers. Also, this is the last volume I own. I need more. There might not be some Berserk reviews for a while. I might have to wait till after Christmas so I get some new volumes. Maybe I'll purchase some more. I don't know. I'm trying to save up for some other stuff like Smash Brothers and save up for Christmas. So I apologize if you do not see any Berserk reviews from me for a while. It's because I don't have any of the volumes and I like to wait until I have these on hand. So if I get some on Christmas, expect a review that day, Christmas Day. I will do a review for volume 25. So Berserk reviews might be on hiatus for a little bit, taking a book out of Togashi and Kentaro Miura's page. But like I said, let me know your thoughts, guys. Age of Darkness, it is coming, and I cannot wait to see if I am correct about it. Like the video if you feel I deserve it. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I would greatly appreciate it. I want to continue this Berserk greatness, but I don't know if I can spend the money for more volumes. I'm so upset. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next video.